Hey guys, this is Movies Buddy and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. So stay with me and enjoy the video. And if you like the video then don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. On this list number 10 is Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is a 2019 American 3D computer animated musical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. The 58th animated film produced by the studio, it is the sequel to the 2013 film Frozen.
Elsa, the past is not what it seems. You must find the truth. Go north.
Set 3 years after the events of the first film, the story follows Elsa, Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven, who embark on a journey beyond their kingdom of Arendelle in order to discover the origin of Elsa's magical powers and save their kingdom after a mysterious voice calls out to Elsa. It had the highest all-time worldwide opening for an animated film and went on to gross $1.45 billion worldwide, making it the second highest grossing animated film of all time and the 10th highest grossing film of all time. Number 9, Fast and Furious 7. Furious 7 is a 2015 American action film directed by James Wan and written by Chris Morgan. A sequel to 2013's Fast and Furious 6, it is the 7th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. Furious 7 is part revenge thriller, part daring heist, and more than a little of a loving goodbye to a dear friend. Franchise star Paul Walker died in a car crash before filming was complete and both his life and death loom large over the movie. The film grossed $397.6 million worldwide during its opening weekend, which is the 10th highest grossing opening of all time. The film has grossed over $1.5 billion worldwide, making it the highest grossing film of the franchise and the 9th highest grossing film of all time. Number 8, The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers is a 2012 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the same name. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is the 6th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I got him.
The film's release and reception make for a natural, and that's when it was official moment, that the MCU took over Hollywood. But for comic book fans especially, The Avengers represents the first instance of the superhero team dynamic truly captured and sustained on film. The film grossed over $1.5 billion worldwide, setting numerous box office records and becoming the 8th highest grossing film of all time as well as the highest grossing film of 2012. Number 7, The Lion King. The Lion King is a 2019 American musical film directed and produced by Jon Favreau, written by Jeff Nathanson, and produced by Walt Disney Pictures. It is a photorealistic computer animated remake of Disney's traditionally animated 1994 film of the same name. This is a universally powerful story, with terrific songs and countless funny and fascinating supporting characters. It's a classic of performance and sensation. It has grossed over $1.6 billion worldwide. Despite it not being advertised as an animated film, it surpassed Frozen to become the highest grossing animated film of all time. It is also the 2nd highest grossing film of 2019 and the 7th highest of all time. Number 6, Jurassic World. Jurassic World is a 2015 American science fiction adventure film. It is the 4th installment of the Jurassic Park film series and the first installment of the planned Jurassic World trilogy, while also serving as a direct sequel to the franchise's first film, Jurassic Park. Set 22 years after the events of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World takes place on the same fictional Central American island of Isla Nublar, which is located off the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, where a theme park of cloned dinosaurs has operated for nearly a decade. The park plunges into chaos when a transgenic dinosaur escapes from its enclosure and goes on a rampage. Jurassic World generated $1.6 billion in box office revenue, ranking 6th among the highest grossing films of all time. It was also the 2nd highest grossing film of 2015 and the highest grossing in the franchise. Number 5, Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War is epic in a way that has been often aspired to, but never fully grasped when it comes to the translation from comic book panel to the big screen. It's what happens when movie makers take their source material seriously, eschewing unnecessary melodrama even as they fully embrace the grandeur, the sheer spectacle of it all.
The end is near. When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.
With an estimated budget of $316.4 million, it is one of the most expensive films ever made. It was the fourth film and the first superhero film to gross over $2 billion worldwide, breaking numerous box office records. It became the highest grossing film of 2018 and the fifth highest grossing film of all time. Number 4, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Force Awakens is a 2015 American space opera film produced, co-written and directed by J.J. Abrams. It is the first installment in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, following the story of Return of the Jedi, 1983, and is the seventh episode of the 9-part Skywalker saga. The Force Awakens was the remedy to the near-terminal prequel-itis of fans. J.J. Abrams and company accomplished this act of restorative cinema primarily through a return to the dirty future aesthetic that made the original trilogy feel so real. The film broke various box office records and became the highest grossing installment in the franchise, the highest grossing film of 2015, and the third highest grossing film of all time. Number 3, Titanic. Titanic is a 1997 American epic romance and disaster film directed, written, co-produced, and co-edited by James Cameron. Incorporating both historical and fictionalized aspects, the film is based on accounts of the sinking of the RMS Titanic and stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet as members of different social classes who fall in love aboard the ship during its ill-fated maiden voyage. Almost 20 years after its theatrical debut, James Cameron's blockbuster epic is still so ubiquitous in the pop culture zeitgeist, its filmmaking marvels are drowned out by young Kate and Leo nostalgia and that damn Selland Ian Catterwall. With an initial worldwide gross of over $2.19 billion, Titanic was the first film to reach the billion-dollar mark and became the third highest grossing film of all time. Number 2, Avatar. Marketed as James Cameron's Avatar is a 2009 American epic science fiction film directed, written, produced, and co-edited by James Cameron. The film is set in the mid-22nd century, when humans are colonizing Pandora, a lush habitable moon of a gas giant in the Alpha Centauri star system, in order to mine the mineral unobtainium, a room-temperature superconductor. The expansion of the mining colony threatens the continued existence of a local tribe of Na'vi, a humanoid species indigenous to Pandora. The film's title refers to a genetically engineered Na'vi body operated from the brain of a remotely located human that is used to interact with the natives of Pandora. During its theatrical run, the film broke several box office records and became the highest grossing film at the time, as well as in the United States and Canada, surpassing Cameron's Titanic, which had held those records for 12 years. Avatar remained the highest grossing film worldwide for nearly a decade, before being overtaken by Avengers Endgame in 2019. It has grossed over $2.79 billion worldwide. Number 1, Avengers Endgame. Endgame is a 2019 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team The Avengers, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the direct sequel to Avengers: Infinity War and the 22nd film in the MCU. The film serves as a conclusion to the story of the MCU up to that point, ending the story arcs for several main characters. With an estimated budget of $356 million, it is one of the most expensive films ever made. The film received praise for its direction, acting, musical score, action sequences, visual effects, and emotional weight, with critics lauding its culmination of the 22-film story. It grossed nearly $2.8 billion worldwide, surpassing Infinity War's entire theatrical run in just 11 days and breaking numerous box office records, including becoming the highest-grossing film of all time. The film also received numerous awards and nominations including Academy Awards.